Okay, so I've been spending the last couple of days trying to figure out how to get my MonoGame UWP project onto my retail Xbox back there, and I thought I'd do a little video on how to get that all happening. So this is going to be pretty much right from scratch from the beginning, just so cover all our bases. So the first thing you want to do is set up Visual Studio and get that ready. So what you want to do is open up your browser. I'm going to download Visual Studio 2017. Let's jump over to visualstudio.com, and under the download section we'll get the community edition of 2017. And I'll download this little very small executable file here, which is the downloader. So we'll open that. Alright, when you hit continue here, you'll probably be prompted to update the installer if it's not already up to date. Just run through the wizard there and let it do its thing. And once it's finished updating the installer, you'll get this window, except instead of saying modify and launch here, you'll get install as an option for the community edition of Visual Studio. So hit the install button on that. Obviously I've already installed, so that's why I don't have that. But when you hit the install button, you'll get the option to then choose what extra workloads you want put on. So for MonoGame, you need the .NET desktop development, so make sure that's ticked on. And you'll also want the UWP development tools as well, so make sure that's ticked on. Once you've got them ticked on, you'll have in the summary section here, you'll get 3 options that you can add additional things onto your installation. So under the Universal Windows platform, you want to have all these 3 SDKs ticked. At the moment, MonoGame 3.6 only requires this one, but just to cover all your bases, I definitely recommend having all of them ticked on. And I'll show you what I've got under .NET Desktop Development as well. By default, you'll have all these 4 ticked, but I've also got the SQL Server ticked as well. I don't think that's required though. So, alright, once you've got all your install settings set up, hit the install button and let it do its thing. It'll take ages because it's going to download something like 15 gigs worth of stuff. So, once you're done with that and you're all good to go, you should be able to launch Visual Studio. So we'll do that now. Just launch Visual Studio and we'll start a Windows UWP project just to make sure everything's working. So once you get your Visual Studio window open, File, New, and Project, and then we'll just do a blank Universal Windows project on the Windows Universal. Hit OK on that. At this point, it doesn't really matter. We'll just tick that, make sure it all works. Alright, once you're ready to go, we'll just do a build just to make sure this is all turned on. And at this point, when you do your build, you might get prompted to turn on developer mode. I think by default it'll open up the settings, but if not, you will want to make sure that you've got developer mode turned on. You can do that from just your start menu on Windows 10. Opening up settings, open up settings, and then update and security. And then under update and security, you should have for developers option here. And just by default, you just have Windows Store. Just make sure you have developer mode turned on. There we go, yeah. and that's ready to go, and then you should be able to build UWP apps. So once you've got that built, you know, okay, UWP is working. So let's do that again. You should get this little window just showing that your app's running. So I think Visual Studio is mostly ready to go now. So we'll just close out of that, and the next thing is to install MonoGame. So we'll open up our browser once again, go to monogame.net, and then under the download section, the latest release at the moment is 3.6, so we're going to download that one. You can also get the development build, but just for this video we'll use the MonoGame 3.6. And then MonoGame 3.6 for Visual Studio. So we'll download that, and I'm sure you don't want to watch this finish downloading. So we'll just go into the folder, and you'll see that I've already got executables here for lots of different stuff. So just run the MonoGame installer just by running it, just like that. I've already got the installer set up. So let's go next, follow the wizard, and install MonoGame on your machine. It'll also give you the option to install the Visual Studio templates. Obviously you want them, so make sure you install the 2017 and 2015 templates if you want those as well. Alright, so once MonoGame's installed and it's put the templates on, we're going to have a look at see what happens when we try to create a UWP project in MonoGame on Visual Studio 2017. So we'll go File, New Project, and we'll have MonoGame here now. Once you've got that installed, we want to make the MonoGame Windows 10 Universal Project. This is the one that we'll be able to deploy to Xbox as a UWP application. So hit OK on that, and you'll see this is the first error that just absolutely cracked me for a long time. So it says something about not having this component assembly. It's something that we're going to have to apply a workaround to. So hit OK on that. We'll close Visual Studio down. We've got to change one of the Visual Studio config files now. So I found this little post on GitHub that was very helpful. Open up your browser, and I'll put this link in the description as well, along with written instructions. If we jump over here up to walbourn's post. Thank you, walbourn, for posting this up. This is the workaround. So we have to jump over to the devenv.exe.config file, and then add in these couple of bits of lines of code. So I'm just gonna do a copy on that, and open up your text editor as and make sure you run it as administrator. So I'm going to use Sublime Text 2. So run that as administrator. I'm just going to make a random document to store that text into, and we'll just set that syntax XML so it's easier to see. And we want to open that file. We want to open this one here. So we want to open this file location here. So I'm just going to copy that. File open. So program files, Microsoft Visual Studio 2017 Community Commons 7 IDE. That's where it all gets put by default when you install Visual Studio. And if we scroll down here, you should be able to find this file here. And this is the file that we need to put those extra bits of code into. Hit OK on that. Change this to XML so we can see what's going on a little bit better. And it's under the assembly bindings tags, where you see all these other dependent assemblies. And we'll scroll right down, we'll just put it right at the bottom. Alright, so we're just going to throw it into here. let's go get that code. Copy that. And we'll whack it into there. And we'll just tidy this up. And if you ran your text editor in administrator mode, you should be able to save this now to that file. And that's saved for me. If you didn't, it'll say, hey, I can't save it, right? I don't have permissions, so you might have to save it to your desktop and then copy it in afterwards. However, just make sure you add those little bits of extra lines into that file. Alright, so now that's been edited, let's try and see what happens this time when we launch the project. Alright, so File, New Project, and then MonoGame Universal, hit OK. Alright, and this time it works. So we'll get to the next step, and you want the target to be the build 14393. This is the one the latest version of MonoGame will build into. So make sure you have that selected. If you select any of the other ones, it won't work. I've tried it. Alright, so hit OK on that. Alright, and let that load, and you'll see a whole ton of errors here. And this is just how UWP apps start off, right? So to get rid of these, you just have to just run a build. So we'll go build solution, and there you go, it's finished. Once it finishes building, it's ready, you'll see all the errors are gone now. And this should now work on your machine. So we hit local machine, build, and there you go. And there's the traditional cornflower blue. Alright, so now you're pretty much ready to go from the Visual Studio side of things. The next part is to get your Xbox ready for your builds. And the way you do that is you set your Xbox up into development mode, and then from your desktop machine you can deploy to the Xbox once it's in that development mode. So I'll show you now how to get that set up. So my Xbox is back there, so I'm going to bring you along with me. Alright. Okay, so here is my Xbox, and you see it's already turned on. The first thing you're going to want to do is actually plug your Xbox in with a wired connection. You see there's this wire that's going all the way to my router in the other room in there, and then over to my Xbox here. You don't want to set this up with a Wi-Fi, because it doesn't support it. It doesn't work. So, all right. So I'm going to set the camera up now, looking at my Xbox on my TV screen, so you can see what I'm doing on the Xbox. So give me 1 second. Okay, so on the Xbox, so this is the home screen. What you want to do is just jump over to the store. Open up the store. And then we're going to search for the dev mode activation kit. So search dev. Alright, and it's not a game. So under apps, you want to find this one. So dev mode activation, that little black icon. Jump into that. And I've already installed it, but it's free. You can just install it. Once you install it, you can then launch it, and we'll just launch it from here. Hey guys, sorry. One when I made that video yesterday, I forgot to mention that you do need to have a Microsoft Windows Dev Center account set up first before you go ahead and launch the Xbox Dev Mode app. So what you want to do is just head over to the developer.microsoft.com website and just create an account here if you don't already have one. So you can just jump into here and sign in. Once you've got that set up, you should then be able to link your Xbox to that Dev Center account, and then you'll be good to go. So what happens is you open up the application, and the first time you open up the Dev Mode activation app, you'll get this sort of a window here, and that is going to give you that URL, so developer.microsoft.com/Xbox activate. When you go there, it'll give you the prompt to log in, so you can do that on your phone or a browser or away from the Xbox. Log into that, and then give it this key that'll show up on your Xbox in the little box that you need to submit it in. Submit that, and that will link your Xbox One to that developer account, and then you should be good to go to launch the app. And restart, and that's the one we want to do. So we're going to go run that switch and restart, and we'll restart the Xbox. Now, the first time you do this, at least the first time that I did it, it took quite a while. So just hold your horses. You'll be stuck in that green Xbox One screen for a little while. Alright, it's just restarting. The first time you do this will take a while to boot into the dev mode. After that, it shouldn't take too long. This isn't the first time I've done it, obviously. Alright, and we've launched now, we're launched right into dev mode. Turn my controller back on. And I'm just waiting for it to finish loading me in so I can start controlling. Alright, we're ready to go now. So the first thing you want to do once you get into dev mode is to set up your Xbox account. So you just need one dev enabled Xbox account. So just go add into existing and then put in your your Microsoft development account here, or at least any kind of Xbox account or Microsoft account, and you're ready to go. So the first thing you want to do is then click this Show Visual Studio pin, and this is the pin that's going to be used by Visual Studio to connect to your Xbox when you deploy remotely to the Xbox. The other thing you want to take note of is your IP address here. I'll probably this is blurred out for you, but it's just a local IP address. And then we can head back over to the computer now. So I'll bring you guys over now. Alright. Alright, so back on the back into Visual Studio. So we've got our project. It's building locally. That's all good. So what we want to do next is to set this up to remote machine. The remote machine is going to be the Xbox. So we're going to want to put the IP address of the Xbox into the address section here. And this is what it was for me. You want to set that, leave that as universal unencrypted protocol. Hit select on that. And that's ready to go now. And we'll hit build now. And we should start deploying over to the Xbox. So the first time you do this, it'll ask you for that pin that I showed you earlier. So if you don't remember it, go back to your Xbox, because I think it changes, kind of like a VPN token. Go back to Xbox, turn that on, and then enter the pin. Hit OK on that, and you should be able to pair your Visual Studio with the Xbox and run this deployment. You can see it's just working away now. And we've got our first set of deployment errors. So do you want to continue? We'll go no. And if we have a look here, it says your target device does not support the current project's architecture configuration. And that's because the Xbox One has a 64-bit architecture, and we deployed it by default as a 32-bit. So you want to change that to 64, and then change that back again to remote. Put this again. Alright, let's select from there. Alright, now we're ready to go. We'll do that deployment again. Let's see how it goes. Alright, it can take a little while, especially the first time you're doing it. You know, Xbox will have to download a whole bunch of stuff, so just bear with it. Alright, I can see that it's deployed on there, but I'm going to run into another issue. Alright, so the next error you're going to get, if you haven't signed in with an account that's a Microsoft account, you'll get this error. So on the Xbox I forgot to turn it on, so I'll just bring you with me so you're not doing anything crazy different. So the issue here is because I didn't tick this account on to log it on. So I'm just going to tick that on. Let it sign in. Alright, so that's signed in now. And bring you back around. And we'll do that deployment one more time. Alright, hopefully this is the last time we do this. Alright, and it says it's succeeded, and we can see that it's running now. So I'll bring that back around. And you can see our app has now deployed to the Xbox. It's just that cornflower blue screen at the moment, and it looks like it's set to a resolution that's a bit too high, but that's it. You can start developing from here on. So I hope that was useful to somebody, but if not, it's going to be useful to me down the line. So